Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here. With the new decade here and all, we figured it's time to bust out our crystal ball. We're going to look into the future and tell you 3 bold predictions that we think are going to happen in the video game industry in the next 10 years. What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking 2019 Bourbon Barrel-Aged Imperial Blueberry Maple Stout by Saugatuck Brewing Company.
Alright, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's peer into the future right here on Gaming Off the Grid.
Hey everybody, I'm Chronik Spartan, and one of my favourite things to do is grabbing a good beer, kicking off my shoes, relaxing my socks, and watching one of my favourite YouTube channels, Gaming Off the Grid. Cheers.
Alright, National Enquirer fans, this one's for you.
Yep.
This is all about hypotheticals, predictions, and things we think that will make the headlines in the next decade. 3 bold predictions from us right here at Gaming Off the Grid. What do you think is going to happen in the next decade? You go ahead and start it off.
Okay, so we're going bold here. We already did our video on thoughts and predictions, normal ones, a while back, but we're going bold. I'm going to start with Nintendo. We're both huge Nintendo fans. We grew up with it. I think Nintendo is going to go into the mobile scene. They already have started to with mobile games on the phones, but I'm thinking they're going to come out with a Nintendo cell phone. Is that weird to say?
I don't think it is.
I'd buy that for $1.
We've talked about this a little bit behind the scenes, so I think the Nintendo Switch is their toe in the water. Getting out of that home console realm, they've started with their mobile games like you mentioned. Apple did it with the conduit being music, right? So
Yes.
like with the first iPhone, it was kind of like iPod, but now it's on my
Yeah,
phone.
because it went iPod, and then it went to like the iPod touchscreen, and then the original iPod touch is what the iPhone is now.
Yeah.
Basically, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So I think Nintendo is going to do the same type of thing with video games. They're nailing down the emulation. You'll be able to bolt in some sort of controller or something like that. People will go
Yeah,
nuts.
they already have the fan
Yep.
base that people will buy. The Nintendo Switch Lite, for example, people will buy whatever Nintendo puts out.
Yep.
I know people like the Switch Lite, so if you do, I'm sorry, but I just don't get it.
Yep.
I think Nintendo's going to go mobile.
And I think through some sort of technology like the Chromecast or something like that, you'll be able to cast it onto your TV. Is what I think is going to happen.
It's going to be so weird.
It'll be a smaller screen. It'll probably be a little bit, of a bigger cell phone. But I think that's what's going to happen.
You know how, like, on Apple laptops, like, there's an Apple logo?
Yeah.
I really hope that if they go this route in their logo, I hope it's like a silhouette of Mario that's lit up. I think that'd be so cool. But that's we're just shooting from the hip.
You heard it here first, folks. A Nintendo cell phone in the next decade. Boom!
Wow. Now let's move on to another developer that we love, Sega.
Is going to reappear on the console scene
What?
in the next decade.
No way.
Bold prediction, I know.
Super
I
bold.
don't know what form it's going to take. The closet Dreamcast fan of me hopes it's a Dreamcast 2, but I think that would be them just pissing into the wind.
that'd be stupid.
I think they're going to appear as a major player on either something like the Google Stadia, or if Amazon gets into the video game scene, which I think they might, some sort of streaming service. Sega, though, is going to have their name all over it in some form. I think they will be back in the home console scene. I think like Amazon or some company like that will use Sega as the name on their brand
Yes.
to get their console into the mix.
Well, Sega disappeared after the Dreamcast came out. Like, it was a great console, but it kind of just didn't perform.
They got out of
well.
hardware.
And they
Yep.
disappeared. And now they've been kind of getting back with, like, releasing games, releasing great compilation games.
Yeah, the Sega Genesis Mini.
Yeah, they're getting back into it, and people are like, oh, we miss Sega.
Yep.
We miss them. And Sega's like, dude, okay, we took a step back.
Yep.
We're ready to attack. And I'm excited because there's a lot of sweet games for the Sega
Yep.
that are only Sega exclusives that are kind of cool. It's kind of edgy,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and it's been a long time since we've seen franchises like Shinobi and Crazy Taxi, and we did just get the new Shenmue game, but I think there's still a lot of love for Sonic. I think the brand is alive and well. We're going to be getting a new Streets of Rage game. We got the Sega Genesis Mini this year.
Maybe a new Jet Grind?
Yeah,
Oh,
hey,
dude.
now we're talking. I think Sega, in some form or fashion, will be back in the home console scene and gonna be a big player for at least a generation. They might get wiped out again, but I think they're gonna make one more attempt.
I really freaking hope so.
Yeah.
Now I got one more bold prediction. But before we talk about that, let's talk about this beer.
So, this blueberry maple syrup stout, it comes in a little over 9%. It's a brew we've never had before. We picked this up when we were hanging with Captain Algebra up in Madison, Wisconsin. What do you think? Because you like blueberries and you like maple syrup.
Yeah, especially just eating them plain. I love maple syrup plain.
Okay, Will Ferrell. Or should I say, buddy?
Dude, maple syrup's good. So this is a 2019 Bourbon Barrel-Aged Imperial Blueberry Maple Stout. And I was super excited. But then I saw on the side of the bottle, there's a warning.
Yeah.
So here's what the warning says. Please note, all of our beers, including this one, are intended to be consumed fresh. We guarantee our beers for 6 months from package date, cellar at your own risk. I saw that and I was like, ooh, when was this packaged? January 16th, 2019, a year ago. Over a year ago. So I was like, oh.
Yeah.
If they're putting a warning on, it's not going to be very good.
If you know anything about blueberries and or maple syrup, if you even eat them regularly, you can shit through a screen afterwards.
Well, and also, they expire quick.
This could be doom and gloom.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But, dude, this is incredible. This tastes like you're eating fresh blueberries with that maple
To me, this is
over it.
literally like blueberry pancakes.
Dude, yeah, it's so...
in stout form.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
I wish the nose had a little bit more flavor. Because, like, by the nose, it's, like,
Pretty bland.
but the flavor profile is incredible.
Very
this beer
sweet.
is so good.
We've talked before, dessert beers, right? They're really rich. This is in that category. I don't think you can drink more than one of these, maybe two if you're feeling real squirrely. I think this beer is delicious. It's like breakfast in a glass. And it's early where we're filming right now.
Yeah,
so.
it's such a good breakfast beer. Such a good breakfast stout. This is so good, and it makes me want to try more beers from Saugatuck Brewing Company, which, by the way, is an awesome name.
It
Saugatuck.
sounds like Suck and Tug. But anyways, the final bold prediction from the GOT-G Studios. In the next 10 years, we think Microsoft is going to bow out of the console scene.
Ooh.
Ending
So
the console
Sega's
wars
coming in.
and the
Microsoft's-
feud with PlayStation. They've got a bigger plan at hand. I think Microsoft is going to be looking into a multi-platform streaming type service where Xbox Live is kind of the hub for online gaming. Meaning, if you have a Nintendo console, a PlayStation console, Google Stadia, whatever means you have, I think that's where Microsoft wants to be. I think the Xbox right now is just a conduit for him to get to that place.
Well, yeah, they've already started releasing Xboxes that are digital only. There's no disc drive. They're already working their way towards digital media. Which I haven't really been an Xbox kid. I like the 360. I like the OG, but I was never into it. I was a Sony kid.
Yeah, for sure.
But when they went digital only, or they're about to, I was like, dude, why? We're physical media fans. It's scary, but I see what they're doing. They're big. They're doing big picture things. And it's kind of cool, but it's also like, dude, there's some Microsoft exclusives that could be gone forever.
Yeah, I think that they're playing the long game. I really do. I think the Xbox Live has been the gold standard for online gaming. Regardless if you're a Sony fan or an Xbox fan, there's no doubt that Xbox Live is the best online platform. Then the Game Pass, which we don't have an Xbox One, but every gamer you talk to, retro, modern,
Game Pass is incredible.
Game Pass is the best deal in gaming, right? That's what they're going for. And I think the lack of effort they're putting into their console exclusives, you know, the new Xbox is coming out with pretty much no console exclusives for the most part, at launch anyways. I just think it's because they're working more on the mainframe, the behind the scenes stuff, and that's what they're wanting to build to where, you know, you're already starting to see some work with Nintendo and Microsoft, which forever that was like taboo.
Yeah, it's kind of cool though. As a gamer, it's like, dude, about damn time we're gonna get.
You know, and this is not really another prediction, but I just think we're going to see silos really come down across the board. You already got Sony saying that MLB The Show is going to be on multiple consoles and things like that.
Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie was brought to the Xbox, you know, for like the remastered, which is crazy.
Yeah. I think we're going to kind of get into a marketplace at some point where it's kind of like, everybody's going to do what they're the best at. You know, I think you'll see Sony exclusives maybe continue to migrate to other consoles. Microsoft be the back-end online component for these consoles. It's kind of a bold prediction, but I just think Microsoft is not in it for the console wars. I think they're in it for the online back-end hub for the whole gaming scene.
I mean, if you think about it, when you think Microsoft, computers.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they started off as.
Yeah.
Why don't they go back to what they're good at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Basically, they're the operating system.
Yeah, they are. Like,
I think that's what they're
good
gonna,
at the power.
That's what they're going to try doing in the console scene. Is the same thing on computers. It doesn't matter if it's on a Dell or an Apple or whatever.
Yeah, the freaking original Xbox felt like a brick computer. Like, it's It's a bold statement, but I think it's gonna come true.
3 things in the next decade. If they happen, man, we're going to look really good. If they don't, we're going to look like assholes. But we really think we're getting a Nintendo cell phone. Sega will be back on the home console scene.
Fingers crossed.
And Microsoft is going to bow out of the home console scene from a hardware perspective, but control everything on the back end. We always appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Share this video with a friend if you care to. And keep gaming. Keep drinking. We'll see you next time, right here on Gaming Off the Grid.
Yeah, especially just eating them plain. I love maple syrup plain. Should we do one more?
We can.
I Saugatuck.
You ever licked one of these?
No.
You haven't?
No.
You should.
No.
Why?
I don't want to taste it.
Why not?
It tastes like salt.
Yeah. It's like bad. It tastes like bad salt. What are we drinking
Today
today?
we're drinking 2019 Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Blueberry Maple Stout by Saugatuck Brewing Company.
Suck.
That's what it's called, dude. Look at Saugatuck. Saugatuck. Is that how you say
You
it?
said suck and tug.
Saugatuck.
Yeah, come on over for a quick little suck and tug. We'll take care of you real fast and send you on your way.
Saugatuck, dude. That should be the name of a gas station. We got Come and Go.
Yeah.
We should have Saugatuck.
Yeah, suck and tug. Had a rough day? Stop on in to Suck and Tug. We'll take care of you and send you on your way.
44 ounces of refill. I don't even know.